Hey guys, in just a moment, just get myself a little organized, crazy morning here. And then, let's go see some cats. All right, so crazy stuff. Got stuck in traffic this morning, so sorry I'm a little bit late. And just need to fire everything up. Really bad accident on the interstate. That was not fun. Okay, let's see. The Facebook. Find the live video here, and of course I can't find it yet. All right, so here's the deal. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna see some cats, right? The normal thing that we usually do. There will be no CAturday walkabout a little bit later today, just because Bridget has some stuff going on. Her parents are flying on in real soon, and we gotta clean the house like crazy people. So, hey guys. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna see some cats, and then got a little bit of an announcement for everybody, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So, find our live video here, and the camera apparently won't stand up on its own. There we are. All right, hey everybody. Kathy, Deborah, Daniel. All right. Let's see here. No, don't do that. Let me scroll. Okay. Ooh, all right, so it looks like... Hey, how's it going?
Going good.
Good?
I know they want a good picture of Stoney.
Man, word gets around quick. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, we're going to get a great picture of Stoney real quick.
Wonderful.
Are you on the social team as well?
Yeah, I am.
Ah, that's why.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know, because Debbie's going, everybody's too busy, I don't want to ask. And I said, well, I'll be there Saturday if you need a picture.
Oh, I'm going to take a picture of Stoney in just a moment.
Perfect, thank you.
Cool, thanks for letting me know. All right, so there is a big announcement on Stoney, and we'll get to that in just a little bit, but because I'm here, we might as well see some cats and get some stories going. So it looks like we have Duchess here. Hello, good morning. Yes. St. Andy, you're all discombobulated. What's going on here? Good morning, guys. No, Brittany does not do lives on Saturdays. I think she goes lives on Sundays, but she usually goes lives during the week. And so Bridget and I tend to tackle some Fridays and usually most Saturdays. So I don't want to update it. Just do what I tell you to do, technology. There we go.
Duchess is a female tiger. We don't know how old she is. She arrived at Big Cat Rescue in August 2015 with 3 other big cats after being confiscated by the Ohio Department of Agriculture. Her owner had failed for years to comply with a very basic 2012 Ohio Dangerous Animals law that just required decent caging and registering the animals. That law was passed after a man named Terry Thompson in 2011 let 56 dangerous animals, including 38 big cats, out of their cages and then killed himself. As dusk approached, sheriff's deputies sadly had to shoot most of the animals. Duchess is a real beauty who enjoys stalking golf carts as they ride by her enclosure. She loves enrichment, especially spices like apple pie and pumpkin, and bloodsickles. She is a favorite of our tour guests, as she often positions herself perfectly for photos. She's also great with operant conditioning and very smart. Her favorite game is stalking keepers in the morning before breakfast. She leaps out over her tree stump at them, and she has one of the best chuffs, a noise tigers make as a greeting.
And so there is Duchess. All right. Let's see. Oh, I got to get you guys a great view of Tiger Lake. It'll give me a moment to kind of get everything situated because the tripod's not in good shape right now, and I've got like wires and everything hanging up all over me. But I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are staying warm up north. And I know down here we're, not to brag or anything, but we're kind of bracing for a bit of a heat wave. We're supposed to get hammered with some nice heat later this afternoon. which is kind of weird because it gets cold and then it gets hot, then it gets cold and then it gets hot, and our definition of cold is like 50, but still got a brace for it. So, all right, here is Tiger Lake. Well, the lake. All right, so since we are sitting here and everybody is focusing on the amazing colors of the lake right now, just so everybody knows, Howard will be going live today at 4 p.m. to talk about the Big Cat Public Safety Act. So it looks like, I'm gonna assume from what Deb sent me here, that he'll be going live on our Facebook channel. So keep your eye open on that. So 4 p.m. today, if you want to get a nice update on the Big Cat Public Safety Act, Howard's gonna go live and explain all of that to us. So just sit tight, and with a little luck, we'll hear from Howard here shortly with a nice update on what is going on with that thing, because we have some pretty high hopes this year, and I think we're gonna definitely succeed, which would be beautiful. Ellison, you are in good company. Who would want to do such a thing? Well, actually, it's a pretty simple answer. People that want attention, quite simply. You know, so a few of you have heard me say this before. I work in the car industry, and you know, my thing is that, you know, I hear and see articles about, you know, cars rotting away in people's garages that have, you know, 10, 15 miles on them because the owner just couldn't take care of it. And quite honestly, if you take a look at the cost of an exotic sports car and then total up the cost of an exotic cat over its whole life, if you're gonna abandon one of them, abandon one that isn't sentient. It just makes sense. Go get yourself a car. At least you can open the garage, look at it. You don't have to feed it. Maybe give it an oil change every so often. But aside from that, don't go out and get something that's gonna rely on you for its well-being. It's just not fair, especially if you're not prepared to take care of it. You know. On that note, I'm not advocating getting an exotic animal. I'm just saying that it's pretty messed up what people do with these guys, which is why the Big Cat Public Safety Act is one of those things that we're advocating. All right, so what's going on here? Yes, Austin Cura. I think I just made Austin's day. Alright. Yeah, you don't want to swim in Tiger Lake. For any of you that caught us last week, you know, we saw Sapphire at Tiger Lake, and that was enlightening. All of the pools in the Tigers areas all drain into the Tiger Lake, right? So yeah, you don't want to go in there, especially if you haven't had your tetanus shot in a while. Yep, Susan, I like it. Hashtag not a pet. Hashtag absolutely not a pet. I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, who in their right mind would want to own a tiger? Seriously. What sane person would want to own a tiger, I should say? Simply because I like all my body parts. They're a lot stronger than us. Hey, buddy. Good morning. All right, so this is Simba Tiger. Simba Tiger will usually come out over and say hi, but he's got a little bit of eating going on, so we'll play a story while he finishes up here. And by the way, just so everybody knows, I'm using GoPro today, so the camera does not zoom. It just has incredibly good color when it's sitting still.
Simba the tiger was rescued from the circus in Guatemala. We believe he was born in 2010. He came to us with two other male tigers, Max and Kimba. At the circus, these tigers were fed chicken feet as their primary diet. This does not give them the nutrition they need. Many circus tigers are very closely related due to inbreeding. and they often suffer spinal deformities from the lack of nutrition, inadequate ability to move around, being forced into unnatural poses for circus acts, and being so inbred. These 3 tigers all have arches in their spines that we do not see in our other cats. In the circus, the full-time living space for these circus tigers was only about the size of a queen-size bed. Because it is such a cruel life, 27 countries ban circus acts that use wild cats. In the U.S., there are 7 states and 149 other localities in 39 states that have passed various restrictions or bans involving the use of wild animals in circuses. The circus was banned by law in Guatemala thanks to efforts made by Animal Defenders International. Hermanos Ponce Circus resisted turning over the animals, but ADI eventually managed to get them to relinquish their tigers. ADI cared for the tigers in a temporary facility, while Big Cat Rescue worked to obtain the import permit needed to bring 3 of them, Simba, Max, and Kimba, to their permanent home here. They finally arrived on November 25th, 2019. Of the 3 tigers, when they arrived at Big Cat Rescue, Simba proved to be the extrovert in the group. When the door of his travel crate was opened, he exited enthusiastically and headed right for one of our large cylindrical toys and started playing with it.
Good morning, Erica. All right, let's see. Susan, I'm going to try to make my way over there. I try not to hang out around Max much. I kind of learned that lesson a couple weeks ago. If any of you were watching that, that was enlightening, I guess is the easiest way to say it. Scared the living life out of me. And so we'll hang out. I think the majority of the changes that were made towards Enclosure were operational changes, more or less like how the doors work, and I think they also put a camera in there. But I don't think there's going to be really much to show on the outside. But we'll take a look. Let's see. All right, so as far I see a couple comments about food in here, and that's cool. We feed them the highest quality food that we can possibly afford for these guys. You know, your donations and the money that we receive here all goes to help feed these guys. Now, what I mean by the highest quality food, you could walk on into our, oh, good morning. How was breakfast? Oh, thank you, Daniel. Kimba. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was Kimba that scared the life out of me. So we'll go check out Max. Time to take a bath? Yeah? Jumping in the pool isn't enough? Oh, he's a sweet, sweet guy. Oh yeah, so back to the food. You could, if you wanted to, which obviously we wouldn't advocate, you would be able to walk into our freezer that we have here, grab a big hunk of meat, throw it on the grill, and eat it yourself. So we make sure that the quality of food that we give them is super high. But a little warning on that, we do feed them zoological mush, which has ground out bone and fur and things like that in it that they need to stay healthy. So yeah, don't really advocate eating what's in the freezer. They do have a kind of a specialized diet, but as far as from a health perspective, this stuff's great.
Kali the tiger was born in a travel trailer in the year 2000, the day after her mother and a transport full of tigers, leopards, cougars, bears, and wolves were dropped off at the Augusta Conservation Education, a small sanctuary in Georgia. The founder of the organization rescued over 300 animals in the 20 years that he ran the facility. But in 2014, with his life complicated by a bitter divorce, he could no longer continue and began placing the remaining animals elsewhere. Most of the animals at Big Cat Rescue were mistreated before coming here. Kali was much luckier. She was well cared for. Most cats that arrive here quickly show signs that they're happy to be here, glad they are no longer being mistreated. Kali was different. When Kali first arrived, she was depressed. She would spend the entire day sulking atop her platform. At dinner time, she would come down to eat, but would then immediately go right back up to her perch. Perhaps she missed her former owner and former home. But a few weeks after her arrival, Kali made a complete turnaround. Now she bounces up to the keepers, chuffing all the way, plays with her toys and enrichment, and loves lounging in the tall, soft grass. Thankfully for Kali, she will never have to worry about being moved from her home again. Big Cat Rescue will provide her with a stable and loving home for the rest of her life.
All right, just thought of something. I'll put my mask on because I forgot to take allergy stuff this morning, and we are going through, I think this is our second spring already this year. Pollen is exploding out here. All right, so lots of questions about the food. All right, so dry food, we don't do dry food. Somebody said in there renal failure and other issues, but when it comes down to it, these guys need a real diet, right? So we give them the food that they need to survive and be super healthy. Just laying in the shade. It's gonna be a beautiful day. And so let's see, another question: where do the rabbits come from? Specifically, I don't know. I'm not the one that places the order for those, but I can tell you that they are humanely euthanized before they get here. So fairly similar to any of you that might get like chicken or steak from the grocery store, right? So similar facility, breeds and visits the rabbits. And so whole prey day is always kind of interesting. Bridget has some insights on that are always kind of fun. What the cats leave behind, I guess, is always incredibly unique to the cat. And picking it up, I guess, is not the most pleasurable thing on the planet. Let's see. Yep, it is a must. They do need that whole prey, and also from a psychological perspective, that crunch of the bones helps. Obviously with the bigger cats, they get turkey drums and stuff like that, so they get that crunch. But whole prey is always, they always really enjoy it. I mean, it's what they're going to be used to. So, all right, and the crazy one. Jazzy girl. Sorry, there's no Bridget today. It's just me.
Jasmine is a female tiger whose age is unknown. She arrived at Big Cat Rescue in August 2015 after being confiscated by the Ohio Department of Agriculture along with 9 other big cats from an owner who failed for years to comply with a very basic 2012 Ohio Dangerous Animals law that just required decent caging and registering the animals. Big Cat Rescue volunteered to provide a permanent home for Jasmine, and 3 of the other big cats and other sanctuaries took in the remaining 6 cats. Jasmine is a happy tiger known for making unique sounds which make her keepers laugh. Like all tigers, Jasmine loves the water. She really enjoys being showered with a hose during hot afternoons at the sanctuary, and she is a star at operant conditioning.
Looks like Jazzy Girl may still be in heat here. But food time. Alright, what's going on in the chat? Corey can't say for sure, but I am hoping so. Jez has got this look like, dude, you never bring treats, then your wife's not here. What's going on? But follow me anyways. Jeffrey, let's nip that one in the bud real quick, buddy. So this area over here is what we call the roofed enclosure. Sorry, I get a little frazzled when people say, oh, they have small enclosures. Kind of actually makes me a little angry, so don't mean to jump on you though. It's a legitimate question. So what the camera shows you is this section over here, right? So you see this little area where she lays, okay? Now, this is called the roofed section of her enclosure. So these things are built to withstand some pretty big storms, as you can imagine. We're in Florida, so hurricane stuff. So we build our enclosures in bubbles. Now, the bubbles, some of them do have a roof area. Now, tigers are not the best climbers. Because of this, she's got this area here, which is still all roof section, and then all of this. Now, if you go to other places, especially roadside zoos, they're definitely not going to have something like this for their cats. All open air over in this area. There's no ceiling here. And it's amazing when you see a cat that has not had this much space ever in their life to walk out into an area like this and actually look up at the sky, right? And be able to see things that they've never seen before because they've lived in a cage their whole life or in a concrete pad. And as you can see, if you look around through here, there is no concrete for them to lay on. Concrete is an incredibly hard, abrasive substance that will create sores on them. It does a lot more harm than good. But when you talk to a lot of wildlife clinicians out there, you know, their recommendation sometimes is going to be, you know, a floor that's easily cleanable. And to that, it still makes a little bit of sense because you want to keep it hygienic for your animals. But here, no concrete, all right? These guys all live outside, as close to their natural habitat as they can get, and they all have a ton of space. So, as far as opening to the public, let's see, Mary, this is really all up to COVID-19 at this point. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And I mean, the whole Tiger King thing didn't help, so. But Jeffrey, to your point, and I hope you're still watching and you weren't just popping on in to throw us a negative comment. And I don't want to say it wasn't a negative comment, but you know. This is the end of her enclosure, right? This thing's gigantic. It's larger than, man, the footprint on 99% of Americans' houses. It's just a huge area she has. Yep, and then Jenny, I'll get to the vacation rotation a little bit. Thank you for bringing that up. So over here is Sapphire's enclosure, and Sapphire's got a massive enclosure. This thing is just gigantic with tons of little bubbles that she loves to hide in. And I think, no, I don't see her. Yeah, Funcation is 2.5 acres. It's massive. You know what? Let's talk about Sapphire before we talk about Stony, because I actually just found Sapphire out. So we'll double back. No, Sapphire is not squatting over her pool at the moment. But I'm working my way around to her right now because I think Afton just kind of buzzed on by here a little bit ago. I know Afton and Sapphire have a pretty good bond, so I think Sapphire might be still looking for Afton here. Hi! Oh, yeah. Oh, you're a pretty girl. Good morning. No, please don't spray me or the camera. I don't want to clean these things. I gotta get back in my truck. It's dirty enough.
Sapphire is a female white tiger who was born approximately 2010. She arrived at Big Cat Rescue in August 2015. Her owner had received many federal law violations for improper care of the cats without consequence. But when he failed for years to comply with a very basic 2012 Ohio law that just required decent caging and registering the animals, the Ohio Department of Agriculture seized the cats and sent Sapphire and 3 other cats to us so that they would receive proper care for the rest of their lives. When you hear people say they are breeding white tigers to preserve the species, that is a lie. There is no species of white tiger. The white coat is actually a genetic defect that often carries with it other defects like poor vision. In addition, white tigers in this country all descend from one white tiger brought to this country in 1960 and are horribly inbred, resulting in more genetic flaws. Sapphire is no exception. She is severely cross-eyed, a very common defect. This causes her to sometimes attack her own back legs, likely thinking another tiger is behind her.
Yes, Cassie, I came in just to do a tour today because we do have a little bit of an announcement for a cool little contest that I'm going to have going on for you guys. And then, what else? It was also a little short on hours, so I had to get those in. But also, since we're not doing our CAturday walkabout, if I have Friday free, I'll try to come in on a Friday. But obviously, it is Saturday. Yesterday, I had to cancel because I had a nice little Zoom meeting that popped up out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden went like an additional hour and a half. So I wasn't able to get in for my promised time yesterday. But I really wanted to get in here and talk to you guys today. There was something else in here. Oh, the wall between those two. Is her tail still a little more yellow, or just... Oh, she's dirty right now. She was rolling around in the mud. Susan. So, oh shoot, what was I going to answer? Completely derailed. Oh, the wall between the two. I haven't heard anything. Right, so I have not heard anything about the wall between Jasmine and Sapphire. So, no idea. All right, so many of you have asked, can we get a clear shot of Stony? Here you go. I'm gonna set the camera up so you can get a nice clear shot of Stony the concrete water cat. And see if I can find a place where the camera won't fall over. Stay put, camera. Okay, so here's the deal. We're running a contest. The contest will go from now until I think like the second week of March. Here's how this plays out. We have Stony the concrete water cat here. Stony's needed paint for a really long time. Thing is though, is that I can paint Stony black again or orange with stripes or something like that. But I thought it would be a lot of fun to include all of you in the process. So I set up a special email just for this. If you would like to participate, one person will be chosen for their artwork to get painted onto Stony. Now, you can go ahead, take a screenshot of Stony, and I'll post a photo here in just a second. Actually, I'll take a photo right now. And I'll go ahead and post this on our Big Cat page in a little bit. And the deal is this. You go ahead and you create a unique, awesome piece of artwork. You could do it, your kid could do it, you can have your whole class do it if you want, if you're a teacher. And then go ahead and email a photo of your unique piece of art of what you want painted on Stony to paintstony@gmail.com. Super easy, right? The email will only be used for this. So paintstony@gmail.com. Once you go ahead and you submit, I plan to have a little art gallery here where volunteers and people here could go ahead and vote on them. And then we'll go ahead and take the top 5, let's say, and put it out to you all on social media, and you can all vote for it, right? So completely anonymously, you won't know who did it, but you can go ahead and vote for the best one that you want. And so that is how we're going to assess how Stony will get painted. And of course, I completely lost our live video. Where's my live video so I can see comments? There we go. Maybe. Alright, so I will find the live video here, I guess. Big Cat Rescue. Alright, so if anybody has any questions, please fire away. More than happy to answer them for you. But that's the contest. So start sending any artwork that you want painted on Stony. We'll all go ahead and vote on it, and then we'll go ahead and I will sit here one day, let's say, you know, in about 3 weeks, maybe 4, live on video, and I will paint Stony with whatever piece of artwork has come on through. So I'm still hoping we're live here. Okay, go there, and there we are. Okay. It looks like you guys are all in on it, so sorry about that. Just a disconnect. All right, so yes, paintstony@gmail.com. Now, as far as the artwork, you can do it over a photo of Stony if you want, or it could just be a really cool photo that you made of a cat, or one of our other cats here. If you, for example, let's say you're a huge fan of Jasmine, or you're a huge fan of, you know, Sapphire. Just make a photo of them, send it on in, drawing, crayon, pencil, marker. If you're a great graphic designer, go that route. It doesn't matter. I totally expect to have to paint like complicated crayon marks all over this thing. So go for it. Now, a few things that you should know about Stony. Stony, it does have a base. So there is a base down there. It's about a 3-inch thick base. In addition to that, Stony obviously has a face. So let me move the camera around to the front. And there is Stony's face. So with that knowledge, you can paint only sections of Stony. You can paint just the side of Stony. You can paint all of Stony, however you want. But those submissions need to be in. The rules are on, we shared it to the Big Cat Rescue group the other day. So all the rules are there. As soon as the date comes around, I'll close it off and we'll have all of our submissions. So everybody go ahead, make a cool artwork for Stony, and I will paint them on there in a few weeks. All right, so there you go. Oh boy, Bridget's joined the club. Everybody watch out. So with this whole paint Stony thing, I just want to also make another thing really clear. There's no money involved in it, all right? So it is purely just painting Stony and making it look cool. And you also get forever bragging rights until his paint fades that you painted Stony. And just so everybody knows, Bridget's in the house. Hey Bridge, just to help you out, I loaded Facebook Watch onto our television. So if you click on that, you'll probably see this video. No comments on it though. I don't know why it doesn't do that. Oh, we're still on the dry food thing, huh? Whew. Of course, the tripod's coming off this thing. Bridget, I need you here. Equipment is falling apart on me. No, I don't want to cast this over to my television. Why would I want to cast this to my television? All right, Aria. I do not see an Aria. Oh, hi! You're in a better mood today. How's it going? Oh, it is Aria. Aria, my iPad is not updated enough, I'm sorry. I do not have your story. Aria is a sweetheart. This cat has been through so much. Bridget and I were talking the other day about Aria, and we both really can't believe that a cat that's been through this much, of what Aria's had to deal with, is happy and smiling. I mean, granted, Big Cat Rescue is a beautiful place, lots of space. It's probably the first time she's had this much room. But, you know, she's a sweetie. But because somebody asked earlier, even though she's adorable like this, rolling around, being all cute, I want you to envision something. Your cat getting all cuddly with you, your house cat. Now, multiply that by a lot till you get to about 300 pounds and amplify that muscle structure significantly, about 12 times that of a human, and then envisioning what cuddling would actually be like. It would not be a fun process. Actually, it would be very aggressive, and you'd probably be lucky to get out alive. Yep, and she's gone. Okay. She's like, you're looking at the iPad, man. You're not looking at me. Alright, and I make my way over to Amanda to see if we can see her from afar. And if she's cool, we'll stop player audio. If not, we turn around and we walk away. Now, Amanda was part of the cub petting trade. If any of you are up to speed on it, which I'm sure 90% of you are, don't pay to pet cubs. Actually, it's pretty messed up when you do. You support these people that are part of this cub petting, I don't even know if you want to call it industry anymore, industry that are constantly breeding animals, tigers, for profit. Now, when it comes down to this, I'm all about people making money how they want to make money. I am not all about people making money off the backs of sentient beings that are being abused. And here's what happens. You go ahead and you pay to pet a cat, pay to swim with it in a pool, pay to go meet with a whole bunch of people. That cat is usually either drugged, malnourished, starving, or basically abused to perform for you, and is put in a pretty crappy situation. Now, in addition to this, behind that kitten that somebody has paid to go pet, there's a mama and a dad, particularly the mama, that's cranking out kittens. Now, we've all heard of damages that can be done when people, you know, speed breed. And, well, when cats speed breed. But if you followed the story, especially, for example, of Priya, you know, Priya had a 20-pound infected cancerous mass that, you know, if that thing exploded, which may have been, you know, relatively soon after she got here, she would have died. In addition to that, you know, cats like Amanda have pretty severe psychological issues. You know, Amanda, you know, doesn't like certain people. Some days she's okay, some days she goes crazy on us. So these are things that people just need to consider. You know, the Big Cat Public Safety Act isn't there just to be there. It's there for, obviously, the safety of the cats, making sure they're no longer abused. And in addition to that, the safety of the people, because, you know, if somebody is an irresponsible owner and they have one of these things in their backyard, in many places they don't need to tell you, right? Your kids run around your backyard and your neighbor's got a, you know, adorable Aria tiger over there. That could run into some major problems, because funny thing about people, we're food. No matter how you want to cut that, we are food. All right, so Ellen, cats can only be used for these purposes 8 to 12 weeks. And then what? Well, and even then, if they're starved, you can stunt their growth and then use them longer, right? So that cat's now abused even further. In addition to that, they then go on to the open market. And when they go on the open market, now we have all sorts of other problems, right? They end up who knows where. All right, so why am I standing here? Big red ball. The big red ball is a really good tool for us to show how these cats interact with toys, right? And so, again, we have to understand that, you know, humans being smaller than them, we may be looked at as a toy. So this was owned by Shere Khan. Shere Khan was a massive tiger that we had here. There's a lot of speculation on his weight, but I like to go with 800 plus pounds. He was a monster of a tiger, with China Doll, who was an adorable little tiger. Now, this thing here is just nails and some teeth. And on here, somewhere, there is a tooth hole. As the stories are told, Khan used to pick this thing up and be able to run with it, right? Now, these are made out of what we call indestructible plastic. Really cool company makes these things, primarily for like elephants, right? And you know, large monkeys, stuff like that. When it comes to tigers have super sharp claws, they have sharp teeth, and they're incredibly strong. So we do replace these things. This one will not go back in another enclosure. It's just destroyed. But it's a good example of how powerful these guys are, right? So, I mean, all these claw marks through here and tooth marks, and I wish I could find a tooth hole so you guys can see. But, you know, this is meant for, let's say, like an elephant to stand on it, give you that kind of idea. And our cats here, if they love it, they'll destroy it, right? And some of them get incredibly offensive or defensive about them. So, you know, take like the whole saga with Nikki and Matt, right? Nikki loves her, but funny with that, it's kind of, hers is really smooth, but she doesn't want anybody near it. So, but you know, indestructible plastic. You know, I mean, as humans are, we're a lot less tough than this thing. Don't fall over, camera. Cynthia, you bring up a good point there about captive tigers do not want to hunt. This is one of the primary reasons that they can't be released in the wild. Right, so we hear occasionally, why don't you just go ahead and let all these cats out and put them in the wild? And on some level, it's a dream that we wish we could, meaning that we would love for these guys to be in the wild, but they can't be. You see, it would be like somebody saying, you know, you're a human, go build a rocket. There's people building rockets, go build rockets, you're human. And all you have is, you know, your high school diploma. And the thing is that when you take a cat that's been bred in captivity and then you put it into the wild, a few things that you have to remember. That cat was never taught the tools to hunt. That's not a, I mean, on some level it is, yes, a genetic thing, but and it's an instinct. But on other levels, there's a skill to it, and that needs to be taught by the parents. Now, So we can't release them to the wild. They'll look for people for food and eventually people as food. So that's not really an option. So once they're born in captivity, they have to stay in captivity, sadly. Which is why the Big Cat Public Safety Act is a thing that we're pushing. It will end the breeding of these guys, so we don't have to worry about more cats in cages. I mean, no person that I've ever met has stated I'd like to live the rest of my life in jail, and started off that way, you know, as a baby. So we try to give them the best possible life that we can. All right, so why did I stop here? Here's the tunnel system. All right, so here's, yes, I'm going the Queen's way, Daniel. So here's the tunnel system. Over my right over here, you can see part of the tunnel, and over my left, you can see the other part of the tunnel. This tunnel weaves its way through the sanctuary, and as it goes through the sanctuary, it connects to almost all of the enclosures. And when a cat needs to go on vacation, we'll simply just go ahead and we'll connect the tunnel together, so there's it covers the pathway. And we'll open up the gate on the other end where the cat would be. And most of our cats here will simply know what's going on, and they will just run right on through, right? Now, some cats, when they get here, right, might be a little timid or scared or smart. And then they'll go a couple feet, stop, and then we need to come over and do something to get them moving. Well, we have a rule here. We don't buy, breed, touch, sell, trade any of our cats. We're GFAS accredited, which means we're not going to go ahead and poke them along with a pipe or a pole. So what do? Buckets of meat. And the smart ones will stop every 10 feet or so, ask for some food, maybe, you know, chicken. Definitely not vegan chicken nuggets. And then every few feet, you know, they might stop again, but eventually they'll get on out to vacation, which is right there. And then once they're out on vacation, they'll have the ability to run and jump and play and do things that they wouldn't be allowed to do in captivity, right? So again, we provide them with the best possible life that we can. And Arya she's over here wondering what I'm up to. Hey man, you're just hanging around over there. What's going on? Yep, Howard today at 4 p.m. What you got going on? Are you following me? Yeah? Oh, you are a sweetheart. Hold on, let me fix my camera here. Come on. Oh, you gotta give me a second. So let's keep moving along. Man, this tripod in here is just at war today. Stay. Bust out some super glue on you. All right, so, and as Deb has pinned there, Howard will be going live today at 4 p.m. Make sure you check it out. So if you want that update on the Big Cat Public Safety Act, tune on in 4 p.m. right here, and Howard will be giving you that update so you can know all about what's going on with the Big Cat Public Safety Act. Super important that we do stay updated on that. That way we have a pretty good idea of what we're dealing with in the future here. Now, of course, text CATS to 52886. Ask your representatives to get on board. Like my tripod isn't. There we go. Okay, hopefully we're good. Sorry about the weird camera angles. But tell your representatives to get on board, read that bill. Now, many times when something like a bill fails, all right, if a bill is to fail, a lot of the times the people that will vote on it have no idea what they're voting on. And it's because they haven't been badgered enough, because they're dealing with other issues in their state that they need to assess. So, text CAS to 52886, get on it, help us out. I know many of you have. If you are not a U.S. citizen, obviously you can't participate in this because it's a U.S. bill, but you can share our content. You can let people know. You can go to bigcatact.com, share that with your friends, tell them all to make a call. Now, one call is worth about 100 signatures on a bill. So, you know, do it, make your call. All right, let's get this thing passed. We have a really good shot right now at getting that done. And so that's gonna take an effort of a community, and that's all of you guys. All right, let's see if we can find the queen here. I do not see, oh, I see the queen on the other side. And then I gotta fix my tripod again. Terrible shade. Stay on. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so let's go to the other side and we'll see Nikki. Oh man, you know what? I don't think we'll be able to see Nikki. She is right on the other side of her concrete bunker here. Yeah, she is outside of my view. Oh, wait, no you're not. You're right there. Hey. All right, so if you can see her, she's like kind of right in the center of the screen. Maybe she'll get up and come on over and say hi.
Nikita was found when she was a year old in a crack house during a drug bust in Tennessee. She was chained to the wall with a short chain on a concrete floor, so she got no exercise and arrived here with huge swellings on her elbows that took months to heal. She was so thin that you could carry her under one arm. In addition to being underfed, she had not had a proper diet, so she had a plethora of nutritional issues to deal with as well. The authorities took her to the Nashville Zoo at Grassmere, but she had been declawed and could not live with the zoo's other lions. Big Cat Rescue agreed to take Nikita in, as well as 3 bobcats that all arrived in 2001. At age 5, she had become a tall, healthy adult lioness, but remained very lanky because she was a picky eater. That changed when our financial support grew to a point where we could afford the expensive ground meat, specially designed carnivore diet we now use. Nikita loved it and filled out quickly to the 500-pound lioness you see today. When Nikita was younger, she was extremely playful and loved to roll on her back and grab her paws or try to do somersaults whenever visitors stopped by to talk with her. Now in her senior years, we still occasionally observe a slow roll onto her back for visitors.
All right. So she's over there cleaning herself, and just like the queen, she will get up and move when she feels ready to do so. And that's another thing about Big Cat Rescue. We typically don't call our cats on over, or I guess do anything that would display them for entertainment purposes. Some of you were asking about the enclosure here. So here is Max's enclosure. Like I said, much of the updates on it, we're probably not going to maybe Kimba's enclosure. Anyways, this is the enclosure that we just had worked on. Many of the updates were to doors and operational things, so we're not really going to see too much from here. But let's see if we can find a Manny. Hi guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good, thanks.
Good. And if anybody didn't catch that comment, somebody asked why is Nikki in that area, and Bridget responded with, we keep her in there until the keepers can scrub out her water bowl and open up the open air section. All right. This way they can safely put, or this way we can safely put our hands in the enclosure when we will open the tunnel. All right. So we need to make sure that we're going to be safe while working on our enclosure. And the best time to do that is when she's locked away around feeding. What's up, dude? Hey, Manny. All right, and real quick, can you guys still hear me? So yes or no in the chat, please. Bridge just sent me a message saying that that you guys lost me for a second there, so you can just let me know if you can see me. Wow, laggy. All right, I'll play the audio on Manny, but if you can hear me, please go ahead and let me know.
Manny is a male jaguar born in 2006. He arrived at Big Cat Rescue in December 2017 from Omaha, Nebraska's AZA-accredited Henry Doorly Zoo. The zoo was in the process of constructing new natural habitats, and some of their current exhibits were being replaced. When Big Cat Rescue learned that the zoo was searching for a GFAS-accredited sanctuary to provide a new home for Manny and for Natalia the Amur leopard, we immediately offered to take them and became their forever home. Jaguars are the largest of South America's big cats. They once roamed the entire continent all the way north to the US-Mexican border. Today, significant numbers of jaguars are found only in remote regions of South and Central America, particularly in the Amazon basin. Unlike most other exotic cats, jaguars are very aquatic and good swimmers. They have even been known to swim across the Panama Canal searching for prey. The name jaguar comes from the Native American word jaguar, which means he who kills with one leap. Jaguars are powerful hunters. Rivers provide prey in the form of fish, turtles, and caimans. They also eat larger animals like deer. They sometimes climb trees to prepare an ambush, killing their prey with one powerful bite.
All right, Manny is he is the most dangerous cat here. You need special training in order to go ahead and feed him and clean his area. So when it comes to him, even though he looks like an adorable ham up there, even if when you see him closer on video, he's one of those you want to stay far away. Very, very dangerous cat. Very beautiful to look at, and he is quite the ham when when people are around. But yeah, when it comes down to it, jaguars are they have the strongest bite force out of the cats in the kingdom. And when it comes to these guys, they are known to jump out of trees right into right in the rivers, grab a caiman, crunch his skull right there, and drag it right up into another tree and eat it. So, a very versatile animal, amazing creature. So, all right, let's keep going along here. All right, so I'm hoping it doesn't cut out anymore. I have theories as to why it's doing that. Keep working our way around here. Actually, that would have been smart. Go ahead and do that. Let's see who else we see. Yep. Manny gets a roof on every enclosure that he gets in. Jaguars are excellent climbers. They're fast. They're stealthy. Manny, I'm going to go on the assumption that you didn't line your balls up like that. They look pretty evenly proportioned. Alright. Freshly mowed lawn. I'm going to assume that one of the keepers did that, but we'll find out later. It'd be pretty amazing if he just lined all his balls up on his own. Oh, Cherie, she's in here. Sherry. Bridget is in here. So you can tell yourself. All right, I gotta put my glasses back on or else I'm not gonna find a single serval along the way here. They are, oh man. It's a morning. All right, 1, 2. Adjust the camera a little bit for you guys. Get some length on this. Perfect. All right, Sheila, I wish I could, but at the same time, I wish I can't. So the short answer is no, because this camera doesn't zoom. I typically run the GoPro in the morning, usually because it's cooler and the color is far better than the phones that we use when streaming. Phones tend to be a little bit more reliable with their connection, but when the GoPro is still, it gives you guys a really good image of the cat. Hello! This is Nala.
Health fails. You can usually find a person willing to adopt an ownerless domestic cat, but not exotic ones. The owner of the serval Nala, who lived in Tennessee, went into the hospital and was not expected to survive. His son called asking us to take the cat. But the process to accomplish that isn't simple, particularly for a person who is not the cat's owner and not used to dealing with a wild, dangerous animal. First, the son had to obtain a health certificate from a veterinarian. This is not always easy since most vets are not familiar with doing this, so we guided the son through that. Once he sent us the certificate, we had to apply for a permit from the Florida agency that governs ownership of exotic animals, the FWC, to get permission to import the cat into Florida. That permit can take 2 weeks, but in this...
So I have been corrected, and I should have known this. And my apologies. Anyways, that was the story of Nala. This is Mouser.
Mouser is a male savanna cat born in 2004. He arrived here in 2019 with 3 bobcats from a failed California facility. We are told he was used for handling by the public. This is a practice we oppose because it is not a good life for the cats and sends the wrong message to the public. What made it possible to use him in this way is that he has an unusually social personality. On the drive from California, he loved to make biscuits in view of his rescuers. He also quickly learned on the trip that stopping for gas or to change drivers meant he got treats, and he eagerly looked for them. Once here at Big Cat Rescue, we accidentally discovered that he loves to be sung to. He comes over, rubs the fence, and listens intently. It is extremely rare for a savanna cat to be so friendly. The problem with letting the public handle a cat like this is that it encourages people to buy one as a pet. In the vast majority of cases, when the cats mature at around 3 years old, they start to spray and bite and are no longer wanted.
Well, Barbie, it's kind of funny that you say that. Bridget is helping me. She's sending me texts with wrong cat there, buddy. Yeah, not having my other half around here is really kind of throwing me off. That's all right. You know, what would you expect from an Andy tour, right? All right, so let's see who else we find here. Nala, by the way, is back here. I was going off the sign that I saw. So officer sign doesn't look like his plaque is on his enclosure. That's okay. As long as the keepers know who it is, that's what's important. The biscuit, but the biscuit is hiding. You can barely, camera won't pick him up. Flint's in the same position there, so Flint is hiding as well. I don't want to disturb those guys. Maybe Flint will come out, maybe he won't. We'll see. See, he just walks in his room and he's screaming.
Yeah. Relatable. Just walk into your room and scream.
So if you can hear it, Gilligan is inside of his, he just walked into his concrete enclosure, a big air conditioned room that he has, and he just started talking. Thanks for the support, gang. Yes, he recently did move. Probably more recently than I think. Or further back than I think. It doesn't look like he's coming out of his enclosure, but man, he was happy to get into there. Yep. Bridget is a senior keeper. So if you're wondering why I'm not going back behind the barricades, it's because I can't. But you're getting a very similar tour to what we give our guides when they, or our tour guests when they come. Right, so from the barricade, stories of the cats. A little more commentary from me than what we would typically do on our regular tours. All right. See if we find a film of it. Here, maybe up in the tree. Yep. Oh my gosh, he is snoozing. I really do wish I could zoom in now. He's upside down in the tree with his head in the crook of the tree, just sacked out. That has kitty snoozing off breakfast all over it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's pretty darn funny. His butt's up in the air, his head's down. For anybody else, yes, he's breathing. Oh man, he's adorable. Trying to see if we can get a better view of him here. No, not really. Just kind of in a weird spot on the other side of the tree. Hey, getting yourself a Beecher report in there?
Not right now, just loving up on the fence.
Bridge, I looked for Smalls, could not find Smalls. How's it going, man? What's new?
Beecher is a male Savannah cat born in 2012. He arrived at Big Cat Rescue in November 2017 after his owner surrendered him to us on his 5th birthday. She loved Beecher enough to realize that hybrid cats do not make good pets and wanted him to live as a wild cat as much as can be possible. Savannah cats are hybrid cats that do not exist in nature. They are the cruel, man-made result of breeding a domestic cat with an African serval exotic cat. Beecher's owner researched Savannah cats and even visited Big Cat Rescue before purchasing him for $15,000 from a Florida breeder called Drinkwater Cattery when he was just 7 weeks old. She didn't believe us when we said that owning hybrids does not work out for the owner or the cat. She tried to bond with Beecher and make her dream of owning an exotic-looking cat come true. She fed him domestic cat food and built him a $10,000 indoor-outdoor room in her home. She neutered him and declawed all 4 of his paws, trying in vain to make Beecher into something he was not. She was covered in cuts and scabs from his razor-sharp teeth. He wouldn't cuddle with her, and he bit her fiancé. Finally, she admitted that Beecher could never be tamed or safe or happy living as a pet. With tears in her eyes, she relinquished Beecher to Big Cat Rescue, where he will spend the rest of his days in a large outdoor habitat, being treated like the wild cat that he is.
So as you can see, trying to find poop around the Beecher is not the easiest in the world. And so right now, one of our volunteers is searching for Beecher poop, and Beecher keeps coming over to say hi, which means that we got to be out of the way. So one of the questions in here was, what's the reason we don't call the cats over? And the reason is that, you know, I'll walk up to, for example, an enclosure like Beecher's, and you know, I'll yell Beecher, and Beecher will come on over and say hi. But if we were on a tour, I'm not going to do that because it seems to come off as entertainment. And for Beecher loves just saying hello to people, but it's not one of those call them on over, like cat call them sort of things. I guess if that makes much sense. So I am going to make my way back down to Smalls here. Just Smalls is usually out, so let's see if we can find Smalls. That'll make Bridget feel better. Yeah, that piece of paperwork's super important that they sign. You know, if you can't take care of the first exotic animal, we need you to make that promise that you will absolutely not put another exotic cat in that situation. And if we catch you, well, get a nice big fat bill for every penny that we have put into supporting that cat since that cat arrived here. Small girl! I'm not Bridget, so Smalls isn't going to come right out for me. I'm not Brittany, so Smalls isn't going to come out for me. And Smalls is up on her ramp. All you can see is a paw up there on the bridge. Smalls! Small girl. Flint and Nabisco are hiding in an area that is very dark, and the camera won't even pick up on it. So, yeah. Or else I'd turn the camera around and point her at it. Alright, so let's keep going along here. And we're going to cut across, go down a little path that we rarely ever do. Cut across Sanctuary. You're welcome, Bridget. he is sleeping. It's nap time after you get fed. I mean, it's only natural. The breeze is beautiful. The sun's out. The sky is super clear. It's a little foggy this morning, but man, it's nice. So, for any of you that are dealing with the nasty weather up north, or any of you that are getting your power turned on in Texas, just want to let you know that it will thaw out. You will have green grass and blue skies once more. Okay, all right, so let's see if we find the tutters. And I'm not getting close to there, but actually, let me see here. Didn't want to play Loki's audio because he is snoozing. I know I'd wake him up if I did. Tutters. Don't see King Tut either. Okay, good to know. Looks like Howard just rolled on in. Gonna get ready for his 4 p.m. live on Facebook. He's gonna do an update for all of us on the Big Cat Public Safety Act. So you're gonna want to tune in for that a little bit later today. Oh man, I do see the Moo Monster over there. So we're gonna take care of one thing real quick and then we'll go see the Moo Monster. Bear with me a quick second. Come on, ground, work for me. Something worked for me. There we go. Perfect.
Story after story of these magnificent animals being abused or abandoned. They're estimated to be 10 to 20,000 big cats, mostly living in deplorable conditions in private hands. These animals belong in the wild, not in backyards and roadside zoos. The laws that claim to ensure a humane existence for these animals just don't work. As one example, the USDA rule for the minimum space for a tiger cage is what you see on the sign on this circus wagon. Make normal postural and social adjustments with adequate freedom of movement. With this rule language, the owner of a tiger doesn't know how big a cage has to be. And an inspector, many of whom are veterinarians and really do care about the animals, doesn't know when to cite someone for too small a cage. So almost no one ever gets cited, and tigers spend their entire lives in tiny, concrete-floored prison cells. Florida does specify how big the cage has to be, and is one of the more generous state laws. In Florida, you can keep 2 500-pound tigers in a 10 by 24-foot space, like this memorial plaque area, slightly bigger than a parking spot on a concrete slab. This would be like keeping your domestic cat in a 3-foot-long dog carrier for their entire life. The only way to stop this abuse is a federal ban on private ownership. It's not often in our daily lives that we get to do something that really makes a difference, but you can today. We have a federal bill that would end private ownership and the abuse of cub petting. The bill will pass if members of Congress hear that enough of their constituents care about this issue. We make it very easy to do. If you are a United States resident and you have a cell phone, please take it out now. To show your support for the Big Cat Public Safety Act and to urge your elected officials to do the same, text CATS to 52886. Message and data rates may apply. You'll receive an automated response containing a link to our campaign page. Click the link and follow the prompts to make the call of the wild today before you leave the sanctuary. Our goal is to get this bill passed before the next plaque marking the death of one of the mistreated cats you met today goes up on this memorial wall. If you are willing, this call is truly the most meaningful thing you can do to help us stop the mistreatment of these amazing animals that deserve so much better. Last, thank you very much for coming to visit us today and for supporting the cats with your tour fee, gift shop purchases, donations, and calls to Congress. Does anyone have any questions before we go inside?
I'm seeing something going on here in the chat that I'm a little perplexed by. So the bill number has changed. So if you just simply want to call on the weekend, like right now, there's going to be nobody there. As we know, our politicians, obviously are not going to pick up the phone on the weekend. Why would they? But the HR Act has changed. I think it's 263. Somebody please correct me on that if I am wrong there. All right, so let's see. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna let you. Oh, that went out in the chat. All right. But aside from that, you can give a call right now and just simply leave a message, and that's enough. That's enough. That's all you really need to do. But if everybody could go ahead and do this, spread the word, take a screenshot of this thing, send it to your friends, or just text a friend of yours and just say text cast to 52886, and just follow through with what that says there. Simple enough. Right, and the more representatives we can get on board, the better off we are. Now, being this year, we have more representatives already signed up than we ever have. It's just a matter of getting those other ones on board. So I'm sure Howard will give us more of an update on that a little bit later today. All right, now, HR 263. So there you go. Right. All right. Now, I did see over on the side over there, you can see a tiger walking around. That is Priya. Oh, hi, Duchess. What's going on? You gonna walk us over to your friend over there? Oh, okay. This is your limit? All right, got it. Hi, guys. Hello. I really feel like I need to get caught up on what this whole thing is going on in the chat here. I think I have an idea, and I don't want to dig a rabbit hole. Where you at? Deb, I am so sorry. She was coming over this way, and I think she may be in her den, and obviously, as you know, I cannot get her out of her den. So that is that. All right, so lastly, a few little things. The make the call to wild, please, and also the Paint Stony contest. If you can get on that, that'd be awesome. Just sit down, be creative, have some fun, and just simply email a photo of your unique piece of art of how you would like Stony painted to paintstony at paintstony@gmail.com. All right, so paintstony@gmail.com, and we'll go through those in the next few weeks. We'll all vote on them, and then we'll put out the finalists, all of you, to vote on those. And then after that, I will go ahead and paint Stony. So I hope everybody has an awesome, awesome day. And let's see if I can figure out how to end this thing. There we go. I'll talk to you guys all a little bit.